She was just trying to park her car, nothing more. A quiet afternoon, a nearly empty lot, and her usual space near the grocery store. But within seconds, everything turned ugly. A luxury car screeched to a halt, a young man began shouting, and bystanders started recording. What no one realized was that the soft-spoken, elderly black woman they tried to intimidate had once been a national karate champion. And today, she was about to remind the world what real strength looks like. Evelyn Carter was 72 years old, but you'd never guess it from the way she carried herself. She moved with grace, her back always straight, her step steady, and her eyes calm. A retired schoolteacher and a widow of a decorated veteran, she lived alone, ran her own errands, and never asked anyone for help. To most, she was just a sweet old lady. But that's exactly what made her dangerous to underestimate. That afternoon, Evelyn had driven her old but well-kept sedan into the grocery store parking lot, like she had hundreds of times before. The sun was out, the air warm, and everything felt calm. She spotted an open space near the entrance and slowly backed in. With her grocery list folded in her purse and her reusable bags in hand, she had no idea that a storm was waiting just one lane over. Before she could close her door, a loud screech cut through the parking lot. A sleek black sports car skidded into the lane, stopping just inches from her bumper. The driver, a young man in designer sunglasses, rolled down his window and shouted, "You stole my spot, old lady." His girlfriend in the passenger seat smirked. Evelyn looked at him calmly. "I didn't steal anything," she said. But he was already stepping out, fists clenched. People nearby paused. Some clutched their bags tighter, others simply watched, uncertain whether to intervene. A teenage girl across the lot pulled out her phone and hit record. The young man stormed up to Evelyn, knocking her grocery bag from her hand. "You think you can just take whatever you want?" he snapped. Evelyn stood tall, unmoving. Her eyes didn't flinch. She didn't yell back. She just watched like a storm waiting for permission to strike. In one smooth, almost effortless motion, Evelyn shifted her weight, gripped the young man's wrist, and turned his momentum against him. With a swift pivot and a controlled sweep of her leg, she sent him crashing to the pavement. The sound of his body hitting the ground echoed across the lot. His sunglasses flew off. His friends froze in stunned silence. Evelyn stood above him, not angry, not rattled, just calm. Her stance was balanced, her breathing steady, like someone who had practiced that move 1,000 times. "Don't ever put your hands on people," she said softly. The young man groaned, more humiliated than hurt, and the girl recording whispered in awe, "She just flipped him like it was nothing." What no one there realized was that Evelyn Carter wasn't just lucky, she was lethal by training. At the age of 25, she had earned her black belt in Shotokan karate and spent over a decade competing at the national level. Though she'd left the spotlight behind, her body remembered every form, every stance, every discipline. She had never needed to use it, until now, and even then she hadn't attacked, she had only defended with grace and absolute control. A store security guard rushed over, wide-eyed and out of breath. The young man, now red-faced and shaking, tried to spin the story in his favor. "She attacked me," he shouted, but multiple witnesses pointed at the phones recording everything. The guard watched a few seconds of footage and turned to Evelyn. "Ma'am, are you all right?" he asked respectfully. Evelyn nodded. "I'm fine." Though he might want to ice that ego, the man was escorted off the property and banned from the store. Evelyn quietly picked up her groceries, dusted off her coat, and continued with her day like nothing had happened. By evening, the video had already gone viral. Millions watched the moment. An elderly black woman reminded the world, strength doesn't always shout, and age doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes the quietest person in the room carries the loudest lesson. Subscribe for more amazing stories.